Introduction to quadratic equations. Quadratic equations is in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. And a cannot be 0, since if the value of a becomes 0, your equation is not a quadratic equation, but it will become a linear equation. I have here some examples of quadratic equations. We have first here x squared plus 5x plus 10 equals 0. We also have 6x plus x squared plus 4 equals 0. We also have 3x squared minus 5x equals 4. We also have 9x squared minus 6x equals 0. And 10x squared equals 8. All of these equations are quadratic equations. Now, let us just transform the following equation into standard form. Remember that the standard form of a quadratic equation is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. All of the terms should be on the left side, and then it is equate to 0. All right, let us answer number 1. In number 1, let us identify the value of a, b, and c. A equals, b equals, and c equals. Looking at the pattern, the term here has the value of a. So in number 1, we have here x squared. So therefore, our a here is 1. If you cannot see a number beside the variable or beside the variable with a degree of 2, there is always a coefficient 1 or numerical coefficient 1. Then b equals 5, since we have here bx. And then we have c here, so our c is 10. All right, so I hope you had followed the pattern and finding the value of a, b, and c. Let's go with number 2. We have here 6x squared plus x squared plus 4 equals 0. Before we get the value of a, b, and c here, you must arrange first the terms in standard form. So we must write the quadratic term first. So here, this is our quadratic term. So write first x squared. Next is the linear term. So let's go here with 6x plus 6x. And then lastly is the constant term. So our constant term here is positive 4. So 6x plus 4 equals 0. Now we have obtained the standard form of the equation number 2. The next thing to do is to identify the value of a, b, and c. So a here is, again, 1, b is 6, and c is 4. All right? So I hope you could follow these steps in identifying a, b, and c. Next, number 3. Again, for number 3, we have your 3x squared minus 5x equals 4. And as you can see, the value on the right side is 4, where the standard form should be equal to 0. So again, we need to arrange this. And to do that, we're going to start with the quadratic term, 3x squared minus 5x, and then minus 4 equals 0. So where did negative 4 came from? This came from adding negative 4 on both sides of the equation. We applied addition property of equality. And by doing so, we're going to have here negative 4, and then the 4 on the right side here becomes 0, since 4 minus 4 is equal to 0. So let us identify the value of a, b, and c. A equals 3. B equals, look here, we have negative 5. And then here, for C, we have negative 4. And that's it, how you look for the value of A, B, and C if your constant term is on the right side of the equation. Let's continue on answering number 4. We have here 9x squared minus 6x equals 0. As you can see, This also already in the pattern of the quadratic term first. Afterwards, we have the linear term. So we can write that as, uh, that's already in standard form. So let us identify now the value of A, B, and C. A is equal to 9. B then is, we have here the linear term negative 6x. So B is negative 6. And then for the constant term, since we cannot see any constant term here, the value of the constant term or the C is 0. All right, so that's a fast one. Number 5, we have here now 10x squared equals 8. And again, we need to make the right side of the equation 0. So we're going to again apply APE. So 10x squared, we're going to add negative 8 on both sides of the equation. So negative 8 equals 0. So now, since this is in standard form, let us identify the value of ABC. A equals 10. B equals, so there is no linear term here. So therefore, the value of B is 0. And then for the constant term, we have negative 8. So C is equal to negative 8. There you go. We have now obtained the values of A, B, and C on each examples. And don't forget that the standard form is always ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Where a, b, and c are real numbers and a is not equal to 0 again. Remember that the value of a should never be equal to 0. Since if this value of a becomes 0, your equations will become a linear term. And again, to recall, the quadratic term here is ax squared, the linear term is bx, and the constant term is c.